Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you here on a muggy Thursday in Hollandale Beach. 9 races for you on a fast and firm main track to PETA as well. I was very happy to see a firm turf course because, boy, it rained like heck in Fort Lauderdale at least a couple days ago, but it looks great down here. The crew does such a good job, and looking forward to getting another racing week. It's an exciting racing week because the Rainbow Six today, 625 in the estimated jackpot. Big news on Sunday, mandatory.
Yeah, it pays out on Sunday the 13th here, and I think I don't foresee them hitting it before that. It seems like we've gotten through Saturday at this point, so I don't foresee them hitting it prior to that. So 4.5 million expected or estimated in that pool. So
the carryover is already $488,000 if we do get to Sunday after 3 racing days. I mean, that carryover is going to be very, very large, and we'll see. I'm going to work on that card tonight and looking forward to that, but we've got 3 good racing days left, and as we mentioned today, 9 races for you today, early pick 5 in about 55 minutes. We'll take a look at my ticket now. Not a lot of scratches on the card, but a lot of them were pretty key scratches. Ronnie said he lost 3 top picks. I don't know about you, but I had to do some bobbing and weaving as well. You can see 2 deep in the opener. Race 2, top pick is the 6, Guasha. Race number 3, Bold Looker at a short number is going to be tough in there. Race 4 will go 4 deep with the 7 on top. That is Perfect Term. And in race 5, we'll use a couple of them in that one on the turf. And the top pick is Carrington in there. That is the 9, a pretty big scratch. 9-3 in that order, pretty big scratch of the 10. Give me Mo Baby. So there we go on a $24 early pick 5 play. Fun one in the opener, huh? This is pretty cool. It's a maiden special weight for the 3-year-old fillies here. Again, at 7 furlongs on a fast main track. It's a clean field of 8, and we'll see. Yeah, it's no 4 for you. Wow.
No.
Interesting. Okay. How about the one, La Loga, for Gustavo Delgado?
And I feel like this is a filly that's got to win today.
Yeah?
She looks like it at least. I'm not a huge fan of that inside post position, but she'll get Lasix on for the first time. To be honest, this field isn't much at all, I don't think. And I think, like you're doing with the 4, just having that race experience is so key here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough post position. She is going to, as Samantha said, add Lasix off a December 19th debut where she was 3rd in a race where I don't know how good that race is anymore, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're not wrong about that,
Because Dominant Diva won. She should have never been disqualified. Justin Queso was put up to 1st. And I know they've tried her in spots, but she just hasn't been very good. I think she's just nothing but a hype horse, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, it was a fast race for the level, but I think the jury is still out. Cat Chat, to me, is going to be tough in here. She comes out of the Shred the Gnar race. That was the Brian Lynch horse was very, very good that day.
Oh, yeah. She really was. And that Shred the Gnar had a race over the track. And I think it's good. I think that Cat Chat will definitely move up from this race for sure. It's interesting. The first time whenever she debuted here on March 16th, her second start, I didn't understand why she would sell for that much money and was very athletic. I don't know why they started her on the grass course. And then whenever I saw her breezing before she ran here, I understand why. She's not a big filly at all. I see why they ran her on the grass. And now, to me, I don't really like her on the dirt, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, we got a stat on Henning.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
Hey, Mark Hennick's birthday today. I saw it, too.
Oh, happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark. Yeah, for sure. 14% route to sprint. So the route was a mile, and now we're cutting back today. I don't think that's going to hurt her either. I just like being outside of La Lagua. And
that
like
helps.
You said, there's nobody else in here. I guess we'll call her the wild card. It is Viveka. Steve Asmussen had this horse at Keeneland and at Turfway.
Yeah.
Didn't bet her, and boy, the next time she starts running will be the first time.
Yeah, that's the truth. And it's not that Steve Asmussen really does that well at Keeneland.
Never.
Typically. Yeah,
Ever.
He's got a couple wins right now, which is shocking to me. Extra Neo this week, but I like the fact that she's on the dirt, daughter gun runner. I don't really like them too much on the Tapeta, so maybe maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
you said, she couldn't do any running with a Hall of Famer, so we'll see. Quickly, because you mentioned Keeneland and all that stuff, the Gulfstream horses are winning everything.
They are, yeah.
Up there. Burnham Square takes the Grade 1 Bluegrass. He's front and center as a horse that could win the Kentucky Derby. The Gulfstream Shippers championship meet horses have just gone up there and won and won and won. It's just another testament to how good the racing here is each and every winter. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4 on the Tapeta. It's a 17-5 maiden claimer. 3-year-old fillies will go a mile and a 16th. We scratch the 3, Zaza J, in the 5, Chancelicious. We'll take a look at Samantha's early pick 4. The TT pick 3 returns on Saturday, by the way.
Yes, it does. So $9 play here for me. Race number 3, I don't like using 2 horses, but I feel like Bird Wildcat is a little sneaky here. Race number 4, I'm just singling the 1, Cooter's Revenge, on the dirt. And in race number 5, I've got the 9 on top, Carrington, who will be a very short price, and she looks even more so down the road with the scratches now.
Yeah. She was clearly the horse to beat before the scratch of a horse that they keep playing for some reason. And she's way the horse to beat now.
Yeah.
So there we go, $9. Let's get back into it here. Early pick 4 again, kicking off. And, okay, we're both on the same horse, Gua Sha, who ran very, very okay last time. I thought she ran very well 2 starts back. And now we're going to try to Tapeta routing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, right? Her stablemate was my long shot today. So I do scratch into this filly here. But I think that the Tapeta race on debut, you can give her an excuse because it was kind of a dare off you lose. I think you and I both bet her that day too. And it just didn't happen for her. But now we'll go 2 turns. It gives her more room, and the 2 turns seems like it's just been a lot better for her. This is a big drop in class.
Yeah, I agree totally. She's going to be tough in here. Now let's show you the replay of Not One Less and Chill Bean going at it last time. They ran 2-3. Chill Bean kind of getting nagged a little bit on the lead. The winner is Red Fire, who's the 4, is going to loop him on that kind of Tapeta trip we talk about all the time. They both ran pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, I think so, too. Not One Less is just the typical MO for Antonio Sano. Just, instead of really putting a huge base on him in the mornings, just run him. And yeah, exactly. But Chill Bean at least has some upside. This was only her 2nd start. So you would think that she could move up some. Hey, Patrick Biancone won the first race at Keeneland, the very first lid lifter there with the 2-year-old.
Yeah,
so
the
that's
horse
exciting.
that was working at Palm Meadows. Yeah. I thought Chill Bean ran a really good race in terms of Not One Less.
I agree.
She got nagged the whole way. The problem is I don't know if anything's going to be different today. Yeah. She's got some long shot speed right to her outside, and you're trying to win a Tapeta route down on the inside. It
doesn't work.
Doesn't really work all that much. So race number 3 on this 9-race Thursday card. We'll get to a flat 1-turn mile on the main track. 4-year-olds and up, low-level 6250 claimers. A clean field of 7. Have a huge favorite in Bold Looker, who, yikes, even money on the morning line could very well be a lot lower than that.
Yeah, I agree. But how I don't want to say how can you beat this horse, because with the 6250 claimer there's nothing etched in stone with these guys at all, but this horse was just gaining with each stride. Bringer of Rain is actually good at the level, at least, so credit to him. I thought that maybe he was just good in the slop, but he doesn't need Rain to run well, so that flatters this horse quite a bit. Yeah,
and we'll take a look at a stat for Carlos Narvaez as well. This is a kind of a barn that has kind of come on the scene basically over the winter, and this is second off the claim on dirt the past 6 months. Not a big sample, but he's 2 for 3. And boy, this horse lays over this field on paper. It's really as simple as that. A wildly fast race for the level, and nobody in here's got anything going on. Well, here's a perfect Bird Wildcat off the claim for Rohan last time. Just is dreadful. What I don't know what happened to him.
I don't either. And they bet him like they knew that too. They just usually they can't bet enough on the Rohan horses.
Yeah, he's a little icy.
Yeah, considering the field, he was very icy that day. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. Pay attention to the tote board here. I know that doesn't really help as far as your early pick 5s go and pick 4s, but maybe you can just kind of take a look at it.
Yeah, I agree. Cross Haste, he drops in half, if nothing else. He's got middling form, but middling form is not a bad MO to have underneath Bold Looker, who is just consistently better than basically throw out the slop race, and we're not getting that today. His last 4 races just bury this group.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
So going to be a short price on a lot of people's singles in the early 5, in the early pick 4. We'll take a break here on Gulfstream today. When we come back, Rainbow Six time. Ron's got the ticket on an estimated jackpot of $625,000.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Naddle, Samantha Perry with you as we kick off another 4-day race week here during the Royal Palm meet. And I'll remind everybody, mandatory Rainbow Six on Sunday with a huge pool looming. But the business today, $625 in the estimated jackpot. We'll take a look at Ronnie's ticket. He'll be out here for the opener, and we'll take a look at it now.
No single here.
Wow,
you said, he lost a few of his top picks on the scratches today, so that's probably the reason here. He did some reworking. Race 5, he's got the 3 logicals there. I think 9, like we mentioned, is going to be a short price. That's Carrington. Race number 6, just too deep, the 4 and the 7. The 7, Bashful Daisy, short price for Sappy Joseph. Race number 7, just 2 of them for him, Special Aviator and Hello. Race 8, the 5, Stroke of Midnight. I'm glad he has this horse. This is my top pick. And Mr. Abario, that's a good one. I think your long shot's in that race, the number 1, Carrington, right?
Yeah.
And in the finale here today, Obasante going to be a tough horse to beat. Love Actually is going to stretch out to 2 turns. That's the 2. And Keep the Dream Alive for his buddy Bill Mott. 43.20 the play.
All right. I like it. And as we said, $625 today in the guesstimated jackpot. It should be a good number today. It's pool, again, the actual carryover, almost $500,000. Let's kick it off in race 4. We're 6.5 on a fast main track. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. It's a clean field of 8. Samantha's on the inside with the 1, Cooter's Revenge. Second off, boy, they buried this horse late last time, and I had no idea why. And
I don't either.
I think a lot of people are trying to figure out why. 90 cents on the dollar last time.
That was so weird. I have no idea, but now this 5-year-old mare, she's going to try the dirt for the very first time, which I find a good move here. I looked up the sire. I Am Invincible. There's some dirt winners here.
Okay.
So that's
surprising.
Yeah, I was shocked as well. We've got some fitness at least now. Second off the layoff, like you mentioned. I don't know what we're going to get here today, but to be honest, the proven runners, they're not that great.
No, I agree. The 7 is perfect term for Delgado, another horse that didn't do any running at all.
Yeah.
If nothing else, though, she dueled early before calling it a day.
Yeah.
She'll try the dirt for the first time in her second career start. And I like this post as well.
This is a very tactical post.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to pronounce the winner of that day. CD Cat. Well, anyway, the winner that day, my point is, was a class dropper, and that was still $50,000 claiming level during the championship meet. So
yeah, this is a big drop. Now we're going to show you the horse that is so much the horse to beat. This is Lady Cuz. Now we've got a winless jockey, a winless trainer on the year. I get all that. If this horse was trained by a name trainer and a name jockey, this horse would be 6-5 in here.
Yeah.
She is so much the horse to beat. And off the long layoff of over a year, 13 months, for David Baracco, she ran huge in this race.
Yeah, she really did. United Forever was a short price for Kenny McPeak. We'll actually see this horse, I think, Saturday?
Saturday on the Tapeta.
Yep, that's right. So This was, I mean, it's interesting because that race, if you keep watching it, like she was loaded.
Yeah.
Like she looked loaded.
Yes, and she was dueling through 4 furlongs. I wanted to show the middle of the race because you could see she was beating a length and 3/4. At least from what we've seen from everybody else and what you just saw there, she lays over this field.
Yeah.
But again, you have low percentage connections that are at play here.
Right.
I thought maybe they'll bet the 4 a little bit. I thought long and hard about making her the favorite just because of what I mentioned. And it's Victor Barboza. She's cutting back. She ran okay. She is a 3-year-old filly, though.
Yeah, she is. So the good side of that, she'll get some weight on the field. Bad news, still not the best angle right now.
No, I agree. And I think the angle is also compounded when she's run 4 times. We are starting to see 3-year-olds that have already run against older horses.
Yeah.
The fact that none of these have, like La Tremenda, I think is a little disconcerting still at this point of the year, and I agree with what Samantha said. Late pick 5 kicks off on the turf in race number 5. It's a 17-5 2L here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, who've never won 2 or 3-year-olds. Scratch the 6, My Happy Holiday. The 7, Cam's Princess. The 10 is the big one, Gimme Mo Baby. The 14, Tinta Roja. The 15, Princess Blakely. Evanora, the 13, is in. She's going to run today. The rail's at 24 feet. Late pick 4 with Samantha. We'll take a look at the ticket.
Late pick 5,
Late
yeah.
pick 5, excuse me.
It's a $54 play here, maybe a little bit more than what I'd want to spend on a Thursday, but I do like the single, and that's in race number 6. This is my best bet, Toku, today for Mike Maker. Race number 7, the 5 on top for me. That's Special Aviator, a race where the scratches kind of brought everybody down a little bit. Race number 8, I've got the 5 on top, Stroke of Midnight. And in race number 9, I have the 4 on top, Bohaka Blessing. For Jose D'Angelo, $54.
All right, there we go there. And she's got the definite 2 favorites in here, and then you get a little price with Aracima as well. The race clearly, you already kind of hinted at it.
Yeah.
It clearly goes through Carrington, who's probably now going to be 6 or 7 to 5 with the scratch of Gimme Mo Baby, excuse me. Her just overall body of work is just, it's way better.
Yep, it is. So at the same time, that's kind of twofold because Gimme Mo Baby, I don't think you had her on top.
No,
I definitely didn't have her on top. But Gimme Mo Baby has defeated Carrington before, so that's just some food for thought there. Carrington should win this race. Will she? I don't.
Well, you can't trust her.
No,
that's for sure.
Thing, yeah.
But, you do have to mention and be upfront about it that her 3 turf races were in the thick of the championship meet. And
exactly.
I don't think there's anybody in here hitting the board in those races in the championship meet. Now, Aracima's got no speed whatsoever, and she's 1 for 19, but she's going to run on. That's for sure. And she's dropping, too.
She is, and the drop is going to be a good move. But like you said, just no speed, and that's her biggest problem here. You can't, on this turf course, you can't run her type of style and be able to get it done in the end, which is unfortunate. And she's just had some tough trips, too.
Yeah, when you have that style that's going to come from literally last, everything's got to break right and be perfect for her. Free to Roam is dangerous because her last 2 turf races are better probably, but it's coming up on, a year, and it was with Carlos David, and now Steve K has got her. She's 1 for 19. Yeah,
very untrustworthy group of fillies and mares here.
Yeah, and the other thing to Carrington's asset, she's only 1 for 8. She hasn't proved that she is not interested in winning.
Yeah.
But a lot of 1 for 19s in here, 1 for 29 that are just, not too interested.
This time next year we might be saying it.
Exactly right, of getting their picture taken. Race 6 kicks off the late pick 4. We're at 5 on the Tapeta, and what's a 17-5 maiden claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. No scratches, but just take note, this was a late one right before we got on the air. Miguel Vasquez will ride the 5, Maid of Mischief. Let's take a look at my late 4 ticket, and then we'll get back into this race. Going to have a big, heavy favorite in here, but I've got Samantha's best bet in there as well. Toku, hear what she has to say about that. 7 got hit with a big scratch of Sweet Treasure, so I'll go 4 deep. Top pick is the 4 Smudge for Cassie and DJ. In race number 8, I've got the 1. That is my long shot. Karen 10, 2 for 2 on the Tapeta. A big rise for Rohan Crichton. And in race number 9, my best bet of the day is Obasante on the stretch out.
Right.
Off a debut I would have to think she really needed for Todd Pletcher and the Wertheimer brothers at 20-1. So they weren't planning on much last time. And I think they're planning on a lot more today.
Yeah.
$32, and I had to rework this and blow it up a little bit. Okay, we'll start with Samantha here. Toku, the 2. Maker and Dub, a solid second on debut. You said best bet with the blinkers going on today.
Yeah, I don't like the blinkers on move here because she didn't do anything wrong in her debut. And I just am not a huge fan of that move just because when they don't do anything wrong, why kind of mess with it here? But jockey Luis Saez could have come back and said something. She chased the first flight, which is kind of where you need. She just kind of sat off that first flight in her debut, and she made a nice middle move and just found one better, and that was it. She was a first-time starter, but she was the only one to make up any ground, which is what I liked about it. And you don't usually see a first-time starter pass horses like that and make that move. She was on the best part of the track, like we always talk about, coming around that outside middle part of the track. But I think for a first-time starter, that was a good effort.
Yeah, and she was well clear of third, too, and I always like to see that. It wasn't like a blanket across the finish. I didn't want to pick the 4, so I stabbed. I didn't want to pick the favorite, the 7. We'll get to her in a second. So I stabbed a little bit. In all probability is the 4, Oscar Gonzalez off the claim. A horse with speed that he cuts back could trip out here.
She could. It's going to be interesting to see where she does set up here. Are they going to send her? You wonder what Edwin Gonzalez is going to do here because she showed the 23:47 on the Tapeta fractions. I mean, on the turf, but on the Tapeta, she could go slower than that.
Without a doubt. Yeah. The only time she sprinted on the Tapeta, she was in for 50, 3 starts back. So, and she was also 8-5 that day. So, they liked her for Cassie, and now Oscar off the claim. Big favorite in the 7, right? Bashful Daisy, who's a maiden special weight dropper. For Safi, Mika Husbands is going to get aboard. He's a 5-pound apprentice now because he's doing some good things. I think he's set up to have a good Royal Palm meet in this lot breaking right for this horse. 5-year-old daughter of Valiant Minister.
5 years old, that's why I think I said this in my analysis too. Like she's 5 years old with only 1 start, so the fact that she's in for 17.5 does not bother me really because where are you going with her?
No, exactly. And they bet her hard on debut February 21st. It was not a good maiden special weight race, but she did chase and duel early. Didn't completely give it up. Beaten just 5 lengths. So get a little weight allowance today as well. Magala in the mix down on the inside. She's got a lot of speed as well. Looks like they might hit pretty good. And if,
it does.
At least early on. At least we'll see because the favorite's got a lot of speed too. Race number 7 kicks off the late pick 3. We're at 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. It's a $50,000 conditioned allowance. 3-year-old fillies go at it here. Big scratch of the 6, Sweet Treasure for Brad Cox. You've got the 5. We've got the replay. Special Aviator and Hello went at it 3 starts back, and 2 starts back, excuse me. We'll show it to you now. I don't think Special Aviator would have did anything but run 3rd even without the trouble.
Yeah, I agree completely. Hello. I just don't trust her.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At all. And Special Aviator... Hello, you don't want to be where she is. Special Aviator, you don't want to be even more in that spot there too. So that's a problem. You look at these horses and who, especially Special Aviator, who she's been running against, Vixen, Nitrogen, the 2, I think now, one of the best 3-year-old grass fillies, and Vixen has now punched herself as number 2 after they finished 1-2 at Keeneland.
Yeah, without a doubt. Nitrogen and Vixen for Cassie and DJ. Special Aviator ran well. She wouldn't have been anything but 3rd, but she would have been closer that day when you're between, like Samantha said, and Hello's got 2 Tapeta wins. So both of these horses are flattered quite a bit with the scratch of Sweet Treasure. Smudge, speaking of Cassie and DJ, Smudge ran very well on the Tapeta 2 starts back.
Yep, and here for a good time. Won a maiden special weight at Keeneland on Monday, so that's just some food for thought there.
Yeah, and she's going to get back to the Tapeta, and both her Tapeta races, for my money, are her best races. So I think that puts her in a big player. Miss Mary Nell, another 2-time winner on the Tapeta for Carlos David.
Yeah, coming off of a victory, so that's a good sign. But the inside post, I'm not a huge fan of. But Leno Reyes, he knows this Tapeta well, find the best spot of it.
Yeah, and we've got the other Cassie, the 2, 'Tis Her Money, off a long layoff at Woodbine. But the last time she was seen on the Tapeta at Woodbine, she dominated.
She did. This seems like a starting off point for her.
Yeah.
I think.
The only thing I'll add is Woodbine opens. I believe Woodbine opens next week. It might be the week after. She's running today, so I think that's interesting. Rajiv Miraj, I meant to text you. He on my long shot. I always said Raj, when he was in form, he was one of the best on the lead. I had a long shot Sunday. Ran second, didn't win, but the horse looked like it was going to be fifth off the far turn.
And got it home for second.
Yeah, and Rajiv dragged that horse home. I want to just mention, I think he's finding his form again, and he could have a really good summer here. I was very, very impressed with that. Saw some glimpses of the old Rajiv, was pretty darn good back in the day. Multiple Breeders' Cup jockey. Race number 8 kicks off the late double. We're at a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. It's a $25,000 starter allowance race. The 4 Playground Legend is out for Maker, and you've got the 5 on top. That is Stroke of Midnight. A trio of them come out of a race where they all race together on December 29th. We can show it, and you can talk about it. Mr. Abario, Disattached, and your pick, Stroke of Midnight, all ran. Stroke of Midnight is a better horse now than he was then on December 29th, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this was kind of the start of him starting to pick up some nice races here. It's kind of surprising the way he won right before this race, is 16,000 non-winners of 2, and since then he's been thrown to the wolves, and he has not disgraced himself by any means. Being on the inside like this, that's not where you want to be. Now Disattached just set a really nice trip here, and Mr. Abario, I know he got run down by King Doro, who's very good for Jose D'Angelo, but Mr. Abario I thought was supposed to run a lot better than this.
Yeah, he's clearly the horse to beat.
But in this race, in
this race today, we always try to beat King Doro, and all he does is win every single time. So it's a good race to come out of. And like I mentioned, there's no doubt that Samantha's horse is better now than he was then, for sure. I'm on the inside. Carrington's my long shot. I don't know what kind of price we'll get, but this is he better be a price. Even with the scratch, I need at least 6 to 1, because I know he's off the claim for Rohan Crichton, which is a good move, but this is a big class rise for a horse that is 2 for 2 on Tapeta, but he's coming out of an okay 3L win.
He is, yes. But like you said, first off, the claim for Rohan, he gave him a little bit of time. I know that's not ideal when you claim a horse in February, but you look at some of the breezes with Rohan. I like what he did here. He's claimed him since then. It's interesting. There's a few gate works on the page with this guy here.
I don't know what to make of it. I like 2 things about this move. He claimed him on February 7th, and Rohan reads a condition book as good as anybody. He didn't want to tangle with anyone during the championship meet.
Right.
He brings him back today, not in for a tag. Rohan's one of these guys now. If you're kind of just joining us now, let's say, the stats in your form have all reset.
Right.
They're all 20-25 stats. Well, Rohan Crichton's not going to win 20-23% during the championship meet.
Right.
Well, he is going to win 20 to 23, 25% right now.
Yeah.
These are guys you need to go back and look at the standings for last year, elevate things a little bit, because these are barns now that are going to start getting on a real tear.
Yep.
And Rohan had a quiet winter, but he's going to get going, I promise you, here. Race number 9 is a fun one. It's on the turf in a maiden special weight here for the 3-year-old fillies. Again, the rails are out at 24 feet, a mile on a firm turf course. Scratch the 8, Carpetta. You want to say that?
Yeah.
And you were on the 4, Bohaka Blessing. We'll show you this replay. I'm glad we mesh here and that you picked her and I've got the replay. I didn't see it bumped repeatedly a lot, but she ran well.
She did. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't think this was a good race in general. But against this field here today, I think this is a fantastic spot. Now, she's the 2. There she is. Yeah, she kind of had an angle out there, but it wasn't, I don't want to call, like you said, bumped repeatedly. She kind of did a little bit of bumping and grinding there with that inside horse to her. races like this, and we say that a lot, when they finish in a blanket, you kind of stay away from them.
Yeah.
But now she's in the barn for the first time of Jose D'Angelo, and that's what's just so key here. They put the blinkers on her. The works across the turf in the mornings have been really, really solid, and I think that against a field like this, and we'll talk about the one, who are you afraid of here besides the one?
Yeah, she was 73-1 in that turf race we just showed you.
Yeah.
Ran very, very well. She will not be 73-1 today. Obasante, it seems to just sit there right in front of you. She's into mischief out of Distorted Humor mare. They sprint her at 5 on debut. Yep. She's 20-1, so she has zero chance to win. When you got Pletcher and the Wertheimer brothers sitting there at 20-1, no chance.
Right.
She ran pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, she really did, and she made a really nice middle move too. This was a race that was on our Sunday mandatory that was canceled a couple of weeks ago. So all of these horses, they were supposed to run a couple weeks ago, and now we'll see them back here. But yeah, this was the stretch out should be just so key here.
And I can't say it enough how Edgar Zayas rides this turf course.
Yeah.
And
let's look at his stat too.
Oh yeah, let's trainer staff for Pletcher. Thank you. And 13% sprinter route on turf at Gulfstream. It's not great, but Todd's about 8% first out on turf, so it's better. And listen, this is not a turf barn, or doesn't make hay on the turf. And I'm going to raise my Edgard statement once more. When he's on the inside,
he's watch out,
amazing. And he's got that mindset that eventually the hole will open. He never panics, and it does. He won his stakes on Curlin Florida Derby Day with that way of thinking. Well, let's talk Henry Gondorf at a big number for Cassie.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this horse, but I do think that the races were decent enough. The race in December was a good one.
Yeah,
too.
What happened last time? That's because the race in December was good.
Yeah, it was. Maybe she just paid the price for that, because she was in the lead, and then we just got closed out. The rails were at 66 feet that day, so it kind of played well for her a little bit, and then maybe she just came back and stubbed her toe a bit.
They'll probably put Love Actually on the lead with Paco, and she might have to be caught, right?
Yeah, that's
2-horse.
Yep, that's. What do you think about her stretching? I prefer Caravaggio's a little bit more sprinting, but
I don't love it, but with a potential flow advantage. The question is, what does the one do? Where does Edgard want to go with the one? Because she's chasing 43-4 in her debut, too. But darn well Paco's going to be intent on clearing this field early.
She might not have to try very hard to do it.
No, because you look around, you got a lot of horses with no speed at all. Now, you mentioned the blinkers go on Bahaka Blessing. If you printed early, you don't see that. So just take note of that, and that could help her quite a bit. It's a fun race to end the card with. Before we do so, though, and send it to Pete, we'll check out the lightning round and the first standings of the Royal Palm Meet. How about that? Let's take a look at them.
Very exciting here. We've got a week down now of the Royal Palm Meet, and we'll take a look. Paco Lopez, Edgar Zayas, and Miguel.
That's cool. Yeah.
That is very cool. This will be fun little race here.
Yeah, and don't quote me, but I think that's the first time we've seen Rajiv's name on a leaderboard, and that's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, as well. Take a look at the trainer standings and see how this is going to kind of start shaking itself out. Jose D'Angelo, Orsino. We should mention this quickly. You see Todd Pletcher up there. You might say, wow, what's that? These guys, yes, sure, the A-leagues are the stock is not maybe here, but Todd and Bill Mott, we're still seeing plenty of these barns, running live horses.
Yep, absolutely. So that will change a little bit once Monmouth opens later this month and whatnot. But for now, we still have some of these championship meet horses and trainers around.
Without a doubt, mandatory. We're going to mention it more than a few times, but as we should, because Sunday will be huge.
Yep, it will be a massive day. It's 10 races on the card. Be very exciting. Over $4.5 million estimated in that pool, Brian.
Yeah, that'll be fun. 3 racing days left to get there.
Yeah.
Of course, Easter Sunday is a week from this Sunday, and we always have a fun day here at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, we do. We've got Easter brunch that will be in 10 Palms, and it'll be a fun day. Come out, bring your family. Make sure to get tickets for that. It's always a very busy day here.
Endless dining. I like that.
I know, yeah. I figured that would get you.
That's me, right? Yeah. Your best bet?
It's Toku today for Mike Maker.
All right. I'm all the way at the end with Obasante in the finale, and how about your long shot?
I lost my long shot today. Yeah.
All right. I'm on one. I got the daily double Long shot best bet
like
double late. Carentan in race number 8, 10-1 on the morning line. We'll see. There is a big scratch in there, but hopefully we get still value because we need it there. Pete's upstairs with scratches and changes. Happy to have you aboard as we kick off another 4-day race week.